Hey, welcome to Wrestle Buds at the corners of Friendship Avenue and Wrestling Boulevard. It is great to hear and see all of you again. I know you're yelling at me. I'm Matt Elfring. With me, as always, is my closest confidant in wrestling and bestest of friend, Chris Hayner. Hi, Chris.
Hello, King Boy Chris Hayner here, the king of all boys. We're here for another delightful week of Wrestle Buds, and we actually we'll catch up in a second, Matt. But We've got something a little extra special this week. It's the first guest of the rebooted pod.
It's not Serpentico.
And it's not Serpentico. We know we've been threatening that it's going to be Serpentico, but I don't know what else to ask Serpentico. And you would just ask him about your fake duties, fake working for him. Mm-hmm. So true. I mean, kayfabe, your real duties, real working for him.
You know what my favorite thing about having a guest on the show is letting them sit in limbo and not be able to talk because they haven't been introduced. I would love to play the game of how long can we make our guest wait?
I hate that. I absolutely hate that. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome comic book writer extraordinaire, friend of the pod, former coworker of the pod, TBH, Lan Pitts. Hey, Lan.
Please clap.
Yeah. Hey folks, how are you?
Fantastic, Lan. First of all, it's weird that I see you now in person more than when we worked together.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that I see you once a year,
at least once a year, yeah, when you come to the Lakeland Comic Con.
I hadn't seen Matt since he hired me.
That's true.
Oh wow,
yeah.
And you guys just caught up at Anime Expo?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. We were both dressed as Luffy, D Monkey from One Piece.
Is that the one with the hat?
Yes.
Okay. I've never seen
all hats. He's nothing but hats.
Yeah.
He's just a person made out of hats?
It's a hat with a trench coat wrapped around it.
Yeah.
Is it several hats stacked on top of each other wearing a trench coat?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Ironically, it's called one hat, but yeah. So we were at the American Library Association big conference, and I had thought about messaging him to see if on the off chance, because it's in Chicago, his place of work is there.
That's
we
true.
could say OD Press. Okay.
Well, I know I didn't want to say I don't know. I didn't want to say that. So, but I'm glad we can shout out Oni Press.
Oni Press.
And Oni Press. So, yeah, we met at ALA and I thought about messaging you and then I didn't. And then you were just there and then it was great. So
I was.
And I got a picture of the two of you and it was a delight.
Yeah. I was wrangling the line for signings with Oni Press writers and artists. And it was fun because you get to talk to librarians who are very excited about graphic novels and multimedia, get the kids reading
on it. So I can actually, weirdly enough, as someone who has done some substitute teaching over the last couple of years, it blows my mind to go into a high school library and see comics and graphic novels in there. That was not a thing when we were kids. No. I don't know about you guys. I had no comics in my high school library.
None.
I had some.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I had some. It was pretty much whatever was donated or new stuff, because I remember there was the Superman issue where he got his lightning powers. There were some random X-Men issues. There were some beat up Garfield books.
Did you have a sick manga section in your school library?
No, absolutely not. No, that was never a thing, because Dragon Ball pretty much was just starting to come out to America, and there was the whole controversy about Japan's ultra-violent cartoons infiltrating the youth in 1996 or whatever it was. But I didn't care because I was already watching Sailor Moon. So that was my whole personality when I was 13, 14. We're just Sailor Moon. Yeah, that was my jam. And then, obviously I got into other anime, or Japanimation as we called it in the 90s.
It's true. So, but Lan, you never introduced yourself, aside from the fact that you worked with us at Game.
No, I almost said because what happened was you said a bad word. And
no swearing. No swearing.
Shout out to Donovan. So
make that money, Donovan.
Get that money, Donovan.
God, what the bag that guy must be getting.
It's Grinch sized. And so
100%, like if he's not currently building a money bin outside of his house, Uncle Scrooge style, like he's doing something wrong.
He got a blimp. He finally got the blimp after years.
This guy? Yeah.
There we go.
There he is.
So yeah, okay. All right, Lan, tell us your connection to this wild world of wrestling.
So, okay, so wrestling in general.
Sure, let's start with you're just like in general what you're a fan of, and then obviously you're in. You are the perfect bridge of comics and pro wrestling.
Yeah,
it's kind of delightful.
Okay, so yeah, I always like when I'm on wrestling panels and comic panels and stuff. You know, how did I become a wrestling fan? I'm from the South, and so it was pretty much like integrated into my RNA. Like I knew Ric Flair and Sting before, like, you know, who the presidents were, I guess.
It's like me and the Beach Boys.
Right. Yeah. Sure. We'll go with that. I believe you. And is there like a tally mark every time he name drops the Beach Boys?
There should be.
No, I don't. I honestly don't do it very often on the show. I don't think, but but that's what it reminds me of, because like I feel like when you were a kid growing up in California in the 80s, you were handed Endless Summer and told this is what California is.
That was basically it. My first live event was Starrcade '89 Future Shock at the Omni in Atlanta. I was like,
whoa!
It was the Iron Man tournament, so it was like Luger, Flair, Muta, Sting. I saw all those guys when I was like 6, and Muta's still like one of my all-time greats. And then like the Iron Man tag tournament. So I saw Road Warriors and then Doom, and I can't remember the other teams right now. But yeah, that was crazy. So I don't know. It just kind of like stuck with me. There was like a small, like maybe gap of like 2 years. I didn't watch anything.
Yeah. The Attitude Era was terrible. You're right.
Was it Ruthless Aggression?
No, it was like the bridge. It was like 90. It was like 95.
Oh, that's the best year.
It's not.
It's not, man. It's terrible. Just because like, you watched it all doesn't make it good.
I've watched it all and then got paid to write about it.
And then watching a random thing. I don't remember what it was. It was a commercial for something. And all I saw was Hulk Hogan promoting a pay-per-view, but he wasn't Hulk Hogan. And I was like, what is happening? What is going on? And so my friend Lewis kind of filled me in. He's like, oh, you know about the NWO? And I was like, what are you talking about? So
the Hulkster's a bad guy?
I was like, I got reindoctrinated when I was like 14. Because I was like, oh shit. Because I had heard like just through
swearing.
Like grapevine of shit. And so
swearing.
And I because I had heard what happened to Brett. I was like, there's no way that happened, because Brett's still like my goat, my number one. He is my Mount Rushmore. It's just four heads of Brett. And in various poses of taking off the sunglasses.
It's wild how different we are.
No. So and then I got back into it, and then, you know, the 90s happened. So that was 97 when I got back in. And then my mom started dating this guy named Joe Choate, and his company had the exclusive HVAC like license for the Georgia Dome.
Oh,
so do you want to know how many Nitros and Raws I went to in the late 90s and early 2000s? Anytime they went to Atlanta? Because I'll give you a hint. Do you know where I was July 2nd, 1998?
No, because is that when Hogan and Goldberg fought?
Yes.
Were you there? If you weren't there, this is gonna be a weird ending to your story.
No, me and my brother Chandler were there.
That's wild.
We got random tickets. So yeah, just weird stuff. And so I kind of like never fell out of it since then. Like I catch up with the product every now and then, but I'm not religiously into WWE. Like it's not a monogamous relationship with it. And that's fine. Because now I watch everything and it's somehow worse. So like my time span, because the G1 starts Saturday. I don't know when this goes live, but the G1 starts Saturday. So that's after my favorite. Okay. So anyway, the G1 will have started when this comes out. And that's my favorite time of wrestling. Because it's just dudes beat. Can I really not swear? Is that
no, you're fine.
Okay, you just have to press the button?
No, he doesn't have to press the button.
I try. Okay. The idea is to keep the show as clean as possible so this doesn't get marked as explicit.
Okay. I just say that I just click the not explicit check mark.
So do I, but they will sometimes mark you explicit if you say naughty words. Okay. Lan, say whatever. Just don't be awful.
Yeah, this will be for the, besides, the extended cut goes to Patreon, baby, where anything
hell I want.
Oh, HE double hockey sticks in the house, y'all.
It just becomes that I think you should leave sketch with just the guy in the haunted house.
I got a question. I don't want this to be anybody's worst day ever.
Not gonna say any of it. I don't think we should say any of those.
That what Matt was like, just don't be awful. And I'm just like, horsecock. And he's just like, no.
All you're doing is making my editing harder. That's all this is. You're giving me more work. It'll be 7 months before this episode comes out.
To be fair, Matt, when you do a character, you make more work for me because now I have to make it cinema.
I don't do characters on this show.
Oh, you're right. You're right. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I don't do any of that.
Anyway, G1's my favorite time. It's just dudes beating the dog crap out of each other. And I love it so much.
Crap is fine, Matt.
Okay. I know. I'm going to try to be easy. I'm going to try to make Matt's life a little easier going forward.
Thank you.
So,
brother, I had a buzzball last week when we were talking about No Holds Barred. It's not clean. It is not clean. Well, No Holds Barred, terrible movie. Absolute garbage.
I'm aware. So
I have never seen it before. I watched it last week. I'd seen clips and whatnot, and I knew they're like Dookie, but like that's a terrible movie.
It's a terrible movie.
I'm not going to say how it was written, but it feels like a movie that was like written by two people who aren't writers over a weekend in a hotel with mountains of cocaine. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, pretty much it. So, about 10 years, it's 10 years ago. I just did the quick math. So in New York Comic Con in 2016, Boom Studios announced they were going to do 2 licenses I really wanted. One was the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and the other one was WWE. They got the WWE license. How that was going to work, we don't know, because WWE had done some casually hideous stuff before. Mm-hmm. Like not just with the Ultimate Warrior comic, which is just...
That was separate. The Warrior book got...
I know, I'm just saying, but it's still WWE. He still was on WWF programming talking about his comic. So, and then you have the Chaos comics, which was just whatever.
Chaos. It was chaos.
Right. You had Paul Bearer, Taker, and then Nash and Austin. Nash was like some kind of supernatural bounty hunter. I don't remember what Austin was.
It was Lobo. He was Lobo.
I will never understand why they didn't do a comic book of like based on like the Stomp action figures. Where like Brian Pillman came with a machine gun and a bulletproof vest. Undertaker had underwater gear and stuff. Like that. It felt like an 80s cartoon of like that would lend itself very well to a comic book. But instead, no. Kevin Nash, supernatural bounty hunter.
Right. It's definitely like a whole thing there. So what was funny was I was talking to the editor at the time. Her name was Jasmine Amiri, who did some work over at Oni not too long ago either.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where she is now. She's still in the publishing world, I think. And I tell people this when I do writing panels to not do what I did, which is basically go up to Jasmine, congratulate her on the license, and then boldly state, you should let me pitch for you. And she said, oh, you had already been on my radar for a while. We'll talk after the show and after the holidays, if that's okay. I said, wow, is that easy? Crap. Okay. So
that's pretty easy.
Right.
You tell people not now. I'm sorry. You tell people not to do that. It sounds like it worked out really well.
It did. But don't go to an editor that you like quasi know and then just be like, hey, hire me.
Give me money. Give me money to make things.
Give me money to make things. The holidays roll around and she's like, hey, let's circle back. What ideas are you thinking? And I was like, I don't know like how weird they wanted to get.
Mm-hmm.
So, because I was throwing out a lot of things because I didn't know, like, again, I'm thinking of the other comics and stuff, the stuff that they've done before. And I was like, okay, so what can I do? So I thought about some weird scenarios of like Seth Rollins, after he has the Money in the Bank briefcase, he actually looks inside for the contract. And it's like a Pulp Fiction scene where like he just sees his whole career like flash before his eyes. And he like has to like, then he puts it back. And then so now he has the knowledge of knowing what's about to happen to him in the next year. The other one was AJ Styles as like an undercover bounty hunter working at a Waffle House.
Perfect.
Like he's just in between gigs. And what were some other ones I did? And then eventually I just pitched because I have the pages here. These are the first two pages that I ever wrote. Art was done by Kelly Williams, and colors were done by Dean Cumphy. Cumphy, I think I'm pronouncing that right. Sorry, D, if not. D-Zoid on all his socials. Go check him out. It was Paul Bearer and Taker building Kamala's coffin for that Survivor series, I think. And it's basically Paul's inner monologue talking about how he's basically manipulating Taker. And they liked it. They were like, oh, that's great. That's easy. I'm like, okay, cool. So my dumbass went into like researched funerary rites and rituals of like the stuff that maybe Paul Bearer was kind of into, because they still made wooden coffins, despite the fact like that wasn't really a thing anymore. Obviously, for the past like over 100 something years, everyone was starting to use caskets. But I was like, he's making a coffin for him. What goes into making a coffin? So then I did research about what makes a coffin. I just overdid it, and because I was just nervous, and then I did well. And then Jasmine moved on, and I got another editor, Chris Rosa, who I think is at DC right now. And he's like, I'm taking over, but publishing side of WWE says you're the guy. Jasmine said you're the guy. So can I just like give you whatever and you can go for it? I was like, sure. Okay, cool. So I got some like really cool assignments from there. And I still am annoyed. Like I'm glad of the work I did, but the one pitch I wanted to do when they were doing like NXT stuff was I wanted to do Shinsuke and Joe, but Joe was like a kaiju monster and Shinsuke was like an Ultraman analog. So the NXT belt at the time was like the Kamen Rider like buckle, and it like transformed him into like some kind of Ultraman surfer guy. And they said that was too weird and didn't make a lot of sense. I'm like, whatever.
It's wrestling. Does wrestling make any sense?
But what's wild is like that sounds like something both Nakamura and Joe would have been all
into.
Yeah.
I pitched another WrestleMania. So when the WrestleMania special came around, I was just pitching just WrestleMania angles I thought were really good. And the one I almost did, besides the one I ended up doing, which was writing Shinsuke going into WrestleMania 34 against AJ and him having imposter syndrome and everything. And that story was called King Without a Crown, which then Shinsuke used in a promo on SmackDown. I'll never be that cool again. And
that's pretty cool.
It was actually the coolest thing ever. Then he put it on his socials and I was like, Jesus Christ. All right, sure.
Why am I not getting paid for every instance of this?
Right, whatever. Let's go. But I wanted to have the night of Sean Taker 2, which is a Sunday. I wanted to have Sean in church. And I wanted him have just like praying and him having a conversation with God about if he were to win against Taker, like, what does that mean? Is the loss bigger than the win? Because then if I lose, is there any way to be redeemed for everything I've done to myself, to my loved ones, because of the business, of the sport and everything, to become the Heartbreak Kid? You know, how many hearts can I actually heal? Can I do that? And it was just him talking, just having like a quick moment with God. And they're like, that is way too deep. It's not that serious.
Like, I like that. I think that sounds dope. If WWE's like, bro, these not our funny bucks. Come on.
Hey, when does someone get punched?
We gotta tone it down a smidge. And that's fine. I just throwing things out of like what I thought would have been okay. But I got the stories I wanted for the most part. There were definitely things that were assigned to me, and I did what I could with it because I had to basically rewrite history. So because World Rumble 92, we did a Rumble special, I did Ric Flair's win. So it was him basically jumping over to WWF, WWE, whatever, at the time after leaving WCW. And him winning the vacant WWF title at the Rumble. Well, the problem is we couldn't use certain people at that time. Mainly Hulk Hogan. And that's not really...
Oh, this is during the we erased Hulk Hogan from history section.
4 years. That was 4 years. And I wrote this in 2017. And so we couldn't use Hogan, but the fact is Hogan involved himself in that because he's holding Sid while Flair gets Sid over. Mm-hmm. Because we also couldn't use Jack Tunney, who's again like
he's the president.
A weird presence, a weird figurehead at that time. Because he's the one who put the match together and he's the one who actually presented Flair with the belt. So I have to cut around like all these people and all these instances and everything. So I have Flair winning and I actually use Heenan's dialogue and all that going into that. And then it cuts to Flair like in the locker room with Hennig and basically everyone's gunning for him. Like Flair understands like he's just the number one target now. So I had cameos by Savage and Taker and all these other people, but so that was something that was given to me. There were a few things, but yeah, that book catapulted. I had to think of the word thrown, but no, catapulted my career, and I'm still doing it 10 years later.
You're making it happen, Lan, day by day, every day.
Thank you.
And then headlocked.
Right. And then, I've known Mike Kingston for God,
former
close
podcast.
Yeah.
Couple of times, I think.
Like 16 years now when we were both in the trenches. And
oh, wow.
I think I met him at MegaCon 2009, 2010.
Wow.
And we just become friends and running into each other, like just hanging out. And
is it weird that in my mind you're like 30?
Yeah, but how old do you think I am?
My age.
30, 35. You care.
What?
You look young to me.
Yeah, I get that.
Like, I'm 44.
Yeah,
Lan is 44.
You're 40. No way. You do not look 44.
No, I just turned 43 in June.
43.
Oh, congrats. Happy birthday.
Thank you. So no, I'm there. Because again, I've been doing this for 20 years. So
I know, but like when you first mentioned meeting Mike way back then, I'm like, just imagine like little like 13-year-old Lan running around a convention. And that's not what it was. You were an actual professional human.
Yeah, like that's kind of how it goes. Yeah, this is what I've wanted to do. I basically made really crappy comics when I was like 6 or 7. I can tell you the first comic I ever made because it's a deep cut and because it was an original character. So there's an episode of Darkwing Duck where he gets spider powers and he becomes Arachno Duck.
Ooh.
I just really thought Arachno Duck was really cool. So I created my own Arachno Duck world.
Oh, I like that.
So I created his own rogues gallery. It's not Darkwing Duck. It's like, oh, this is actually like what happens when Arachno Duck was the thing. And I made those really crappy comics when I was, and just folded up on like notebook paper, handed it to my mom. And she's like, is this what you want to do? And I was like, I think so. She's like, are you sure? This isn't a career. And I'm like, oh, you're right.
Oh.
She's like, no, wow. I'm joking. What can I do to like encourage this? So she took me to my first comic convention I ever did. We drove from Atlanta to Charlotte, North Carolina for the day for Heroes Con 1994. I still have my program. And
that's dope.
But that's where I met like dudes in Atlanta. That's where I met like Cully Hamner, Adam Hughes, Brian Selfreeze, all these dudes who were like Jason Pearson, circumventing the Atlanta area, Carl Story. And, you know, she was like, oh, you see these guys live near you. You can do this. I'm like, cool. So I never stopped really writing comics, even if it's just me and my friends just putting stuff together. And so now I just had a meeting, an introductory meeting, because more words will be said at San Diego in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
It's right here on the calendar, and with the IDW office, and I hope things go well. So
I'll put in a good word with the head of PR, Greg Katzman. That's not going to help.
Thank
you. I literally just talked to Ob this morning.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Write a Ninja Turtle book, please.
I want to do something Turtles related. There's only one thing I have my heart set on, but I know
Is it a satire of Ninja Turtles?
It is not. Okay. It is not. It is Mondo Gecko participating in a charity skateboarding competition.
Lan, you and I talked about this on the phone for a long time. I'm so into it.
I'm here for it.
It's what I want. It's what I want to do. Is all the if I get to write other things, like what if you basically take Metalhead on like a vision quest and make him like Machine Man for a minute? Sure, who cares? But like there's a lot of ways people think you can't do Turtles, and I'm here to tell you probably can.
I have a pitch for you, Lan.
Okay.
I want you to do what life was like off stage on tour, fighting Shredder every night on the Coming Out of Our Shells tour.
Hey, we just talked about Coming Out of Their Shells tour for so long, and it had to be cut. Too long. Not even extended audio. This is just for us.
Yeah. Sorry, it's not a wrestling or a comic book. Okay, Lan.
Ninja Turtles.
Yes. Delightful stuff. Okay, so Lan, you before we got into your childhood coming of age in making comic books, you were talking about you met Mike Kingston at MegaCon.
Mike Kingston,
and that's how you got.
And so that led to a friendship, and basically, he got on the WWE book too, and we just became friends because of that. And we had similar circles, and then around the pandemic, I became friends with Danhausen. He was introduced to me from another friend because he did a birthday cameo for me, and I was like, oh yeah, I see this guy around with like Warhorse and Effie and stuff like that. And so
the three horsemen of the wrestling apocalypse, Danhausen, Warhorse, and Effie. I love Effie so much.
Pretty much. And we just became friends through that. And so Mike was looking to try to find some people to make comics with. And so I just asked Donovan, I was like, hey, you want to make a comic? And he's like, I don't know. I don't know. I didn't have good experience with the last one. And so I said, well, here's what happens. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you an outline. I'm going to write it. You give me notes. And then there's your co-collaboration. And he's like, oh, that's easy. Yeah. So I did the outline. He liked he did some stuff, moved around, did the script, moved dialogue like a little bit. And then we signed off on it. And then that's how I got him into the fold with Headlocked. And then that was our, Mike's biggest moneymaker for 5 years.
Yep.
Donovan pretty much, it was synonymous. Donovan pretty much went to his table. Then we launched our, that one. That was a WrestleCon exclusive. Man. Yeah.
At WrestleCon. It's signed by some author type of fellow.
Is that my name?
I think so. Someone signed it.
Oh yeah, that's me.
Okay. No,
it's
It's signed by 3D. It was the Dudley Boys.
Yeah.
I sometimes see my L's.
Team 3D. They're not currently in the contract.
Well, so then we did our first San Diego exclusive, which is this, which we paired Danhausen and Brody Lee together. And then we did our 2024 exclusive with John Golden on interiors.
Wait, Brody Lee or Brody? That's Brody King, right?
What did I say? Did I say Brody Lee?
You said Brody Lee.
Yeah.
What year was that at Comic-Con?
2023. It was Brody King.
Oddly enough, I interviewed Danhausen and Brody Lee in our studio that year at Comic-Con.
Oh wow.
I made them decide. I made them like do this or that with like horror movie nonsense.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that's up there, Jim Jam.
Oh yeah.
So, and then the 2024, I brought in my friend Jonathan Sawyer, who had worked on the Guar comics, Hank Jones, who's colored everything for Marvel and then some, and then interiors by John Golden, who famously designs pretty much all of Danhausen's merch for the most part. So that logo that they use pretty much now at WWE, that's John's pretty much the stone cold skull of the modern era. So
it has become, if you follow Danhausen on Instagram, you'll know it has become so many tattoos.
It has become so many tattoos. And
tattoos.
And I've been thinking about getting a Danhausen tattoo just because it was like a good part of my career. And just I look back fondly on just hanging out with him and like just shooting the shit about toys and movies and everything. I just texted him when he was in Baltimore, and I forgot they were in town completely. And I was like, oh shit, right, that's in town. Did you get to do anything cool? Never. So I'm like, oh, well, sorry. Always next time. But
there won't. No. They those people are like, it's wild listening, like talking to wrestlers about that. Like, we got to see the world. We got to see inside of this hotel. We got to see inside of that hotel. We got to go inside this arena, that arena. We got to go to the gym. Oh, did you do anything fun? Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Unless you're Shinsuke, who would just take
surfs.
He surfs and takes pictures of water towers, and I had a long discussion with him about that. He just loves water towers.
I mean, they're cool.
They are cool. I'm not judging.
I mean, he was also Konosuke's wedding photographer.
Was he really?
There's a lot of photos of Konosuke and his wife on Shinsuke's photo Insta account.
Ah, okay.
Like they were on the beach and everything. It's just a bunch of them just hanging out. And I was like, man, I love that for you, Doc. I love that so much. So yeah, still been running comics, and then my last.
I'm gonna believe that he caught them by accident because he happened to be at the beach.
He's just in Savannah, Georgia, at the same time. Sure,
he's at the beach in Savannah. He's trying to catch a wave, failing. Because it's Savannah, Georgia, and
are you not in Savannah, Georgia?
I just don't think it's a surf capital.
No, it's not. But it's still a fun city. Shout out Big Fun. Shout out Big Fun Toys.
I love Georgia on the whole. Like I've never had a bad time in Georgia, except for the one time when I was on the set of The Walking Dead and they were filming outdoors in the middle of a field of dead shrubs in the summer. That sucked.
Well, that's most sad.
I don't do that. Not Big Fun. Planet Fun. Is it Planet Fun? There's a toy store in Savannah I really like now, and now my brain is done. I'm looking it up because now I just feel bad.
It's okay. Yeah. We clearly don't like toys on this podcast.
Planet Fun. There we go.
Don't look behind me.
I know. Don't look anywhere.
I hate toys. I only like vinyl records and Oni press books, apparently.
And zombie satire posters.
Homage. Those are more homage.
Yeah.
Okay, Matt, what's the difference between ripoff, satire, and homage? Let's break this down real quick.
Okay, so ripoff is just a straight up, I see this grift of like, I'm going to try to replicate this by switching a tiny thing with the intention of like riding that wave by ripping it off. Homage would be a serious, almost tribute to the original source material, but with its own unique voice, where the ripoff doesn't have a unique voice. It's just parroting.
I actually I also, there's a perfect way to look at this.
Yeah.
Bootleg toys at the flea markets are ripoffs.
Yes.
Super 7 recreating the OG Ninja Turtles action figures, but with more articulation. That is homage. That is paying tribute to.
Satire is Ninja Turtles being Daredevil, like the hand and the foot. Like that's a satire of Daredevil.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to explain it in comic book world.
Okay. Thanks, Matt.
I don't know why. Like you asked, Chris Hayner asked me, and then I explained it to Lan. We are in a triangle.
I didn't.
Who asked? I don't even remember what happened.
Lan asked you. I just started talking because that's what I do.
It's true.
It's my thing.
I like to look out the window and see what noise is happening. If you noticed, like 2 minutes ago, there was a giant. It sounded like someone dragging a garbage can, and I didn't see anything outside. So it's just ghosts.
That's fine.
Outside ghosts, my favorite type.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, so I just kept writing, and my latest book came out in March, called Beat Everyone Up.
Yes.
And I have it sitting right down here.
Go get it.
I have it right there.
It is available now.
Can I order Can I order it on the Amazon?
You can order it on Amazon, Target, Walmart, Barnes and Noble, bookshop.org. Wherever you fancy, wherever books are sold, you can pretty much get it. Look at that. Matt has a copy. Wow.
Good job.
Crazy.
Matt.
What cool guy gave you that?
Lan Pitts gave it to me at ALA.
Oh, I get it. I got to go to a convention to get it. Okay.
I was so excited, Lan. I was like so excited to see you because we hadn't seen each other in so long. Because I don't do conventions anymore. And then you popped up. I was like, oh, it's like, I don't know. I get very excited because we talk on the phone all the time.
You really got like,
because I was just so pumped to see someone I knew, somebody I had like history with and like worked it. And we do talk on the phone on a regular basis. So it's just kind of like, it's like if I saw Chris again, same thing. I mean, I haven't seen Chris since 2023, right after I was laid off.
Since we parted ways at the Royal Rumble, Dallas or El Paso? No,
San Antonio.
San Antonio.
It was San Antonio.
The Alamo. We were staying across the street from the Alamo. Matt had just been laid off. We had just recorded the final episode of the podcast. And then on the way back to the hotel after the Royal Rumble, a guy was like, the Wrestle Buddies.
I was like so happy and so like, I probably cried back in the hotel room.
So awful.
Thank you for not doing that in my hotel room.
Yeah. You're welcome.
I appreciate you.
Again, it was a weird time for sure because my book had come out. Let me break down March, April.
Yes.
So my book comes out on the 17th. I do a store signing that weekend. It sells really well. And eventually I have this screen capped because we were number 3 on Amazon in all of comics. That is cool. Crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty dang cool.
It's like it was like in between
Absolute Batman.
No, it was like a Five Nights in Freddy and something else. I'll find it in a second. And then I went to WonderCon and to promote Long Beach Comic Con, which is September 5th and 6th of this year. And so we are doing
this will be out before that.
Huh?
This will be out before that.
Oh, great. Cool.
So everybody go to Long Beach Comic Con.
I don't know if I'm going to have it edited by then.
I'll put the video up. I've been to a convention in Long Beach. It was like 2003 maybe, or maybe 2004. And it was Wizard World, Long Beach.
Flea market.
Yeah.
Or is that when it was? No, that's when Wizard World was still like a decent convention.
Yeah. It was pretty cool. I was excited because it's put away now, so I can't pull it out. But I have Ninja Turtles original first printing of issue number 2 hidden away in a closet, and also the Raphael micro. And I was going to have those signed by Kevin Eastman, and then I overslept and missed his signing.
We've all been there.
It's all right. I met him years later when he had, I don't know, neither of you live in Los Angeles, but he had an art installation at a comic shop called Meltdown. It was just all of his Ninja Turtle art, and then he had a cordoned off area where it was just his entire office full of Ninja Turtle stuff that he'd collected, and it was all beautiful. And I bought like some signed comics for friends and whatnot. But then I also talked to him at length about The Next Mutation, which he remains a big fan of for some reason, and Coming Out of Our Shells, which I remain a big fan of because it's important history.
Yeah, of course.
He was just a delight. There's a picture of me, I took a picture with him, and every friend who saw it was like, "That's the happiest you've ever looked in your life." I was like, yeah. I got a personal tour from Kevin Eastman of his comic book art collection.
That's pretty great. There was something going viral. Every now and then something really funny goes viral, and I always have a story behind it. Mm-hmm. Today was everyone talking about the 30 Rock cast piece that was done by Alex Ross as the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen piece. And every now and then people just post out of context or something like, and sometimes Alex Ross does this for no reason. There was a reason, because it was commissioned by Scott Adsit, who played Pete Hornberger on the show.
Yes.
Scott is an avid art collector, but his main thing is League of Extraordinary Gentlemen art. And so when I interviewed Scott about a decade ago at Dragon Con, I got to see that piece in person. Mm-hmm. Because he was taking his sketchbook around. But the funny thing is, and I don't know if this was ever posted, he might have posted this elsewhere. Alex left a gift for him on the back of the book. And it was a lightly colored pencil sketch of Alan Moore. Like just in the back. And it looks great too. But to see like an Alex Ross piece, because it's just a 9x12. I think it's 11. I can't remember if it's 11 by 14. No, it was 11 by 14. So it's just an 11 by 14 piece, like full painting of Alex Ross in person. Mm-hmm. And so I had to explain to a few people today, like, no, there's a reason for that. Here's the interview I did. Scott just really likes comic art because I worked for Adult Swim and Cartoon Network. And so I got to meet Scott when we were doing a lot of moral oral stuff. Mm-hmm. And that was like his whole thing. Like, if you really want to get on Scott Adsett's good side, or just to like bring up conversation, 30 Rock is fine, but talk about moral oral and he just lights up.
So I'm still stuck on the, like, can you imagine a situation where you're like, I'm going to commission Alex Ross to make art.
Yeah, that's fine.
I have so many things I would be like, Alex Ross, can you make me art of like Airwolf and Kit from Knight Rider like flying towards each other through the air?
Yeah, that's fine.
I almost said a curse. I'm sorry. I didn't do it. Matt. I didn't do it.
I'm just getting ready. Do we need a warning for it?
No, I'm not going to do it.
Okay.
I changed my life. But yeah, there are just so many very silly, stupid things that I would have Alex Ross paint if I had that kind of pull / money.
Right. Like I'm back to commissioning art as, again, like for a hobby, because tariffs have kind of blown my like big toy habit. Now, did I treat myself to the Mondo Goliath for my birthday? Yes. So like, but I also had to pay $20 for the privilege to get it when it arrives.
Huh? Ridiculous. I said, that's my little Mondo guy back here.
I can't see.
It is the prototype of the Michelangelo Sofubi that Mondo did.
Oh, that's very fun.
They sent it to me. They're like, if we send you the prototype, can you preview it? And I was like, do I have to send it back? And they're like, no.
That's dope.
Yeah, absolutely. Send it away. It's way different than when Arcade One Up said, we're sending you the prototype for our Simpsons arcade game. And it was this janky cabinet that like barely played and had holes all over it.
I remember that.
And then it was in my house for months because they wouldn't send someone to come pick it up and take it away. I was like, I don't want this anymore.
Oh, I still have my Marvel cabinet they gave me, but I was really hankering for a Simpsons one.
It would have been great, except the secondary game didn't work because they hadn't cleared the rights to Simpsons Bowling yet, so it wasn't playable. And it wasn't the Simpsons cabinet; it was a temporary cabinet. They just put the card in, and like bolted down the control deck to. It was very silly. When they sent me the Shaq-sized NBA Jam,
okay,
that was good. Oh yeah, you have OG NBA. We both had that one at one point because we played together, and then I got rid of that, and then I also got rid of the Shaq-sized NBA Jam. So I was like, this takes up too much space. I don't have room for this.
This is all a wall of one arcade one-ups to keep me separated from the rest of the room. But the Final Fight one right there has been like, I modded it, and so it has almost every arcade game, and probably I'd say like allegedly 95% of like all games that had been released up until PlayStation 1, including Panasonic CDI.
I love that for you.
How often do you stand in front of it playing Panasonic CDI games, Matt?
I did like the Legend of Zelda one once.
Hey, princess.
I have like a weird soft spot for Sega CD when they tried to do like interesting things and it was all terrible. Like
it was all full motion video stuff.
Yeah, I love FMV.
They did a Dragon Lair port, yes. And it was not good.
No, it's terrible.
But Night Trap.
Night Trap is also not good.
No, screw you guys. Night Trap was way ahead of its time. Rules. Night Trap is so ahead of its time for that. It's a good game.
Dana Plato's in Night Trap. Show some respect.
Mechanically, it's a good game.
I like Night Trap, dude. I'm not fighting you on this.
Okay, it's the predecessor for what Five Nights at Freddy is. Like that, it's literally that.
I've never played that. I've seen the movies.
It's just you watch cameras and interact.
So those were one of the comics because I didn't know Five Nights at Freddy made comics.
Yeah.
That and Chainsaw Man were the first 2 books After Hours.
Chainsaw Man.
Love me some Chainsaw
Five Nights
Man.
at Freddy's and Chainsaw Man, and then Us.
Chainsaw Man's an anime, right? It's the guy with the chainsaw
both.
head. Huh?
It is both. It's an anime and a manga.
Oh.
It was a manga first.
I got to review the manga right when it came out from Viz Media at GameSpot.
I remember. I didn't understand any of it. And I was like, that's fine.
It's the demons of things people fear combined with human beings.
I don't care. I'm not.
Dude, Chainsaw Man is so good.
Anime and manga are such a huge blind spot for me because I just at some point years ago, I tried watching it. I was like, I don't like this. This is not for me. And then a good friend of mine, Terry Schwartz, shout out. She will never hear this.
Never.
For her birthday one year, she got a group of friends together at Universal City Walk in Hollywood to go to the AMC theater for a Sailor Moon marathon. And I went and had a migraine headache. Have you ever tried to watch Sailor Moon on a movie theater screen with a migraine headache?
Wish
that. It's terrible. I thought I was dying.
Here's the thing,
because
Chris.
it's just lots of flashing and brightness and loud, and I'm like, my head is revolting against me.
Was it like one of the movies?
I think it was 2 of the movies.
Okay, which ones?
The one with Sailor Moon and the tuxedo vampire man. I know he's not a vampire, but in my mind, he's a tuxedo vampire.
But
tuxedo mask.
Chris, here's the thing.
There's a cat. One of them had a cat. There was the cat was part of the storyline.
Usagi had a cat, buddy.
Who's that?
Usagi Tsukino? That's Sailor Moon.
Okay, but the cat was a principal part of the storyline of this film. It might have been about the cat.
Luna is an important part of all the story.
Oh, okay. Well then, yeah. So it was one of those.
But here's the thing, Chris. Anime in itself and manga is its own giant thing. It's just like saying TV or movies. There is.
I understand.
Okay. I was going to say, because I hated anime for the longest time. Well, that in between time where Battle Angel was only a thing for a short time, and then Berserk as anime. And then I was told by other people, no. There's something for everyone in this subgenre, the subgenres of subgenre.
Yeah.
And so you find what you love.
I've tried. I've had a dozen different people, including people at Crunchyroll, make me lists of things to watch, and I've tried. And I'm just like, it's not. But by the same token, I'll talk for days about the TGIF programming lineup.
I'll talk about reality TV trash for days if you want.
I'll talk about some of it.
But not the non-catty stuff. That's what I love. If it's not catty, I'm into it.
I really want to know your hot take on Step by Step when they replaced Corey with Bronson Pinchot.
Oh, you mean Cody? When they replaced Cody, Sasha Mitchell, Cody. Corey was Boy Meets World. Oddly enough, at the time, it was said that it happened because he domestic violence charges were brought against him. I know the story
behind it. I just want to know your hot take on replacing it.
Bronson Pinchot sucked on that show.
Wasn't his name Jean-Luc and he was French for some reason?
Yeah. Whatever. It 100%. It felt like they're we got to get TGIF royalty in here, so it seems less like a loss. Get Bronson Pinchot, he'll do anything. He's like, I want to do it French.
And then didn't JT just leave?
No, JT was there through the end. So on Frank's side, it was JT, Al, and Mark. Or no, Mark was the glasses kid.
Mark was glasses.
Brendan was the youngest one. He disappeared in the last season or 2.
And then they brought in another little kid.
Well, Carol had a baby with Frank, and it was a cute adorable little girl.
Okay. I'm trying to get my step by step. And then there's obviously the crossover with Family Matters. So,
well, yeah, Urkel came to town that one time.
Urkel was just doing all his TGIF circuit.
Urkel, I've actually, so literally this week I had an idea for a podcast, TGIP. where it's just every episode is something else about the TGIF lineup, including like a multi-week saga of the evolution of Steve Urkel from like he wasn't even in the first episode of Family Matters.
No,
he was meant to be a one-time guest star, and was a hit.
Lan left. We were just talking about TGIF. Yeah, he's like, I'm done.
Lan hates Urkel is the thing. But yeah, I
don't hate Urkel.
Nobody hates Urkel.
Nobody hates just the genesis of that character.
But I'll tell you what, I hate Stefan Urkel.
Stefan sucks.
Stefan was lame. I liked Myrtle Urkel.
Here's the thing about Stefan. What do you think that was Jaleel White just being like, I'm tired of being like seen in public as Urkel? That's what it had to have been.
100%. Do you remember the episode where Carl and Urkel somehow get turned into like Bruce Lee?
Oh my God. You just unlocked memories.
You remember that?
Because the first time they did that was to fight up against the Dragons, which was a gang led by Jason David Frank.
And they messed up Rachel's place.
Yep.
Before Rachel got removed from the show as well.
Yeah.
Because like first the youngest Winslow daughter got removed, and she ended up, as those of us who follow TJF know, that actress ended up in adult film for a short while, and then went on celebrity rehab for her addiction to cannabis.
That's not an addiction.
And then eventually little Richie was getting older, and so they just decided, well, I guess we don't need little Richie's mom around anymore. And they replaced little Richie's mom with another little kid that the Winslows like pseudo adopted, and it was 3J.
Yeah, 3J.
And then eventually Mother Winslow got married and moved off the show.
Yeah, it was like an Oliver Twist situation. Wasn't he like an orphan or something?
It was 100%. It was like Leonardo DiCaprio on Growing Pains, for an even older reference. We just befriended this homeless child, and now they live with us.
No, Hainer, I'd be down with that, because TGIF is such an interesting television phenomenon. But yeah, and I know
it won't ever happen again. That sort of destination television just doesn't exist anymore.
And I know Key and Peele touched on this with Family Matters slowly becoming like Doctor Who, but I really feel like
Urkel. Yep.
Yeah. Well, there's also the episode where he invents a time machine and they end up on a pirate ship. And then there's also the episode where they get shrunk down and almost get eaten by a cat. Then there's the episode where he has a robot. Then there's the episode where
the Urkel bot was good.
I
have a lapel pin of the Urkel bot that I bought like a decade ago. And
it's like every episode during the latter seasons were just every episode was trying to jump at the shark, but it still landed.
Which reminds me, can I show you my brand new lapel pin I just got?
Yeah, let's do it.
It's Mickey Mouse DWO.
That's delightful.
Boy.
It's Hollywood Mickey Mouse, bro.
Oh, I got it. I understand.
We've barely talked about wrestling, and that's fine. This is just some buddies hanging out.
You guys don't talk about wrestling at all.
Sometimes we do.
We talked about No Holds Barred last week.
Oh, my God.
But I figured we were all going to at least be wearing wrestling shirts.
I am.
Chris is.
Oh, I am too. I'm wearing Shingo Takagi. So
I'm wearing a shirt for the very underground wrestler, the SmackDown Hacker.
Love it.
I'm wearing Orange Cassidy.
This is my Mustafa Ali merchandise.
Love it.
What a deep cut to our old podcast.
Yeah.
Not even a deep cut, actually.
I just like the color of it, and I wore it to Walmart today.
I like the fact that it took me 5 minutes to make that shirt.
And I immediately bought one.
Same here.
And I still wear it.
Well,
okay. Want
to talk about wrestling. What do you want to talk about?
Well, actually, I'm gonna hit you with a wrestling thing. So obviously, you wrote Tales from the Road with Danhausen. You're able to forge a friendship there. What are some of like hit us with a couple of the weird, cool wrestling things you got to do? Because like, honestly, as media, I would argue, Matt, we've gotten to do some like insanely cool wrestling things.
WWE archives before that was open to the public, kind of.
I'm still mad. Still mad about
You're
that.
Still mad about it.
I am pissed, you might say, but that's fine. But like, no, we've got to do like some really, really dope stuff. But I'm very curious from your point of view as someone who, you pseudo worked with WWE when you were working with Boom. And
I worked along with them. Yeah. I mean, I worked with their licensing and I worked with their PR team. Yeah. I mean, I didn't, hit up Vince or The Rock or be like, hey, what do you think about this panel composition, dog?
Yeah. You
like,
didn't?
No, incorrect.
I thought that's how comics work. You have to run every single panel.
I mean, there is a Rock story with the comic that I didn't have to deal with, but a friend did.
Ooh.
So there was an issue where he put the Rock in something and he didn't know Rock is touchable. You could work with him, but you'd have to go through him and his people to clear like his likeness and stuff. So he had to repurpose all this stuff he had done and basically show him like from behind and like leave the ring and stuff like that. And you not see his face at all.
Oh boy.
That's the type of stuff like we sometimes had to like jump through and shit. It was definitely a weird time. Like there was, so for one of my Undertaker stories, Kelly Williams had to redraw Virgil like 4 times.
Wrestling superstar Virgil?
R.I.P. But yes, he had to redraw for some reason.
If you've ever been to, prior to his passing, if you ever went to a convention,
yeah,
chances are you saw Virgil with his wrestling superstar Virgil banner above his table. And you know what?
Absolutely.
Every time I talked to him, nicest dude on the planet. I remember one time I was at a SoCal Indie, EWF, Empire Wrestling Federation. And he was like the special guest and he was like doing a signing. But then in the middle of the main event title match, the NWO music hit and Virgil ran out, put on an NWO t-shirt, ran back in and interfered in the match. And I was like, this is maybe my favorite thing that I've seen live wrestling. Like Virgil was just over there signing 8x10s for people. Then he ran out and threw on an NWO t-shirt because he heard the call. He heard the call of like Breakdown or whatever that music's called.
Yeah. That's great. That's hysterical. So what is your question?
Worst pay-per-view you've ever been to?
Ooh.
I've never been to a bad pay-per-view.
I don't know that I have
either. The closest I've come to it was Extreme Rules 2017, but even then, I got to see Jeff Hardy do Jeff Hardy things. So I can't really complain all that much. The best pay-per-view I've ever been to, that's easily... Ooh, actually, that's a tough call. Supercard. G1 Supercard 2019.
Was that at MSG?
No, it was in an MSG.
It was?
We were there. Yeah, we were there.
Yeah.
That was a great show.
That was
a great show. That was an insane show. There were definitely some moments that like killed, like Matt Taven win the Ring of Honor title. That was weird.
Yeah.
Enzo.
Also the Enzo thing. The Enzo thing was real weird.
Yeah.
The Enzo thing was real weird. The Roosh Squatch match with Dalton when they tried to do like a heel turn that didn't work.
Yeah.
But everything else, like, God, I got to see Ospreay. I got to see Hiroshi Tanahashi again. I got to see Jay White. Jay White as the IWGP champion. I've seen Jay White a few times in Ring of Honor when he was an excursion. Saw Okada for the first time. Saw Muda. Saw Liger. Saw God. Who else? Saw the Briscoes.
I forgot that I've seen Liger twice.
Yeah,
that was the only time I've seen Liger.
I think my favorite pay-per-view premium event, whatever, that I've attended was the first NXT Takeover Brooklyn.
Oh, with him and Breeze.
With him and Breeze.
Yeah.
That and one of to this day, one of the top maybe 2 matches I've ever seen in Sasha and Bailey. Like
I almost went to that one. I was in New York doing Gotham Press anyway, so I was already in town.
Guess what, Lan? You probably saw me there because I also went to Gotham while I was there, because every time I went to New York, I went to Gotham.
Okay.
Because like at a certain point, I just text the publicist at the time, Holly.
Yeah.
And be like, hey, I'm going to be in New York. Can the cast talk? And so there were legit a couple of times when they set up mini press days because I was going to be there.
Oh, that's cute.
I was like, this is great. Let's do it.
The last time, because I have my wall of like memorial stuff here. So the last time I went to it was,
I have one of those. I have all my lanyards and whatnot up there on the wall. Steiner Studios, baby.
Yeah. October 3rd, 2018 was the last time we went. The last time, because then the show was canceled.
Yeah, then it wasn't on anymore.
Right.
Was that the trip where they were like the new thing they were showing off was the quote unquote Bat Cave?
No, that was the Sirens bar.
Sirens bar. Yeah. That Sirens bar set was sick.
That was the Sirens bar.
A lot.
But I still keep in contact with Holly. I still keep in contact with Robin. I still keep in contact with who else do I keep in contact in the office?
Are you talking?
It's mainly Holly and Robin for the most part. Yeah, because they were great. Because Holly works at Prime now, and so when Masters was about to come out, I didn't complete my other story because this ties into this.
Oh,
WonderCon happened. Let's go back a few hours. WonderCon was happening. 2 things happened. 1, my cat Egon had a seizure. And 2, my collaborator for Beat Everyone Up, Joe Hunter, went into a coma. That's all while I'm in WonderCon.
This year.
At the end of March. Joe's in a coma for 2.5 weeks. So, and Egon has another seizure. And basically, we learn it's nasal cancer. And there's no coming back.
Yeah.
We just have to keep him as comfortable as possible. He's only like 3 years old. And it sucks. This cat had like an awful life. But the 1.5 he was here was like game changer for this guy. So then, April 9th, that's when I get laid off from GameSpot. When I'm in the middle of QA, and Chris Pierre was like, actually, can you hold on a second? I don't hear from Chris for like 40 minutes. And I'm like, oh, this is either nothing or something very bad. And then I get that email from Tam I told you all about. And I was like, you know what? It's fine. I'm fine. I'm going to concentrate on whatever the case may be. And obviously, it's been okay. So because then...
I also appreciate you referred to him as Chris Pierre, as if he's like a fancy French gentleman.
We always called him Crispy. He was Crispy.
Yeah, Crispy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And...
he owes me an email.
I'm sure he owes a lot of emails at this point.
I just text him.
So...
well, I emailed him a pitch for something that's happening here in Florida.
Oh, that's nice.
Specifically. Not if I don't get a reply.
Oh, that's fair. And so, but then a week later, my buddy Gary, who I worked with comics over in Ireland with, says, hey, Heavy Metal's looking for some people. Do you want their contact information? And I said, yeah, sure. So I email Chris Thompson who's putting together like this issue. And I'm like, hey, I don't know if this is anything you want. I don't know what you want.
Like Heavy Metal Magazine?
Yeah, I have something from Heavy Metal coming out.
Doesn't Kevin Eastman own Heavy Metal still?
I don't believe so.
Huh.
I could be wrong. He's not the person who signed my check. But so then I do Heavy Metal stuff for like a month. And so the week of, and it's been going great. I send in samples. He likes them. I keep on getting work. And it's been great. So May 13th. And so previously I have emailed Holly on the off chance. I'm like, hey, what are the off chances you guys are doing like Masters of the Universe screeners or something? Or like press, or what are the chances you could just introduce me to the team? And she said, oh, I know what you're about. Here, let me introduce you to the team. So we go back and forth on a few things. Nothing really comes to, like, nothing really times out to where I can talk to the cast. So Egon goes to the vet on May 13th. That's a Monday. And it's his last vet visit. His vet's like, that's a wrap. He's dying. So I make an appointment for an in-home procedure for Wednesday. Tuesday, Amazon MGM emails me inviting me to a private screening in New York for Masters.
Oh, yeah.
Wednesday, Egon passes over. Thursday, I'm in New York for the screener. And that's when I realize I'm seeing it before the world premiere Monday in LA. I see it before because I talk about it briefly. I'm like, I can't even say I've seen it. So I do like a closed circle sort of like thing on Insta. And I'm like, hey, this is weird. And then Tim Sheridan, who wrote Netflix's Master of the Universe Revolution, was like, how? Like, oh. I'm like, oh, are you not? I thought you're going. He's like, no. How did you do this? And I'm like, I just emailed my Amazon person. And so, so Tim eventually does go to the world premiere as a guest, and I'm glad he got to see it. But I saw it before, like Pixel Dan. I saw it before, like all these big motion
in your face, Pixel Dan.
Sorry, Dan. I love you so much. And and I can't say anything. I can't, like, I messaged some friends, like, hey, Fight Club status. You won't believe what I just saw. And it wasn't a secret cut, like they were saving things. I saw the whole thing because when Tim was doing screenplay treatments and using that for the comic book sequel or prequel, I think it's the comic book. He's working with the comic book tie-in at Dark Horse. So he had like access. She-Ra and Evelyn with the Skeletor skull were not in the screenplay. So he's like, hey, what about that post-credit sequence? And I was like, you mean the one with Evelyn and Skeletor? He's like, no, what are you talking about? I was like, I don't know what you're talking about because I can't say shit. What are you talking about? And he's like, the one with that guy. And I'm like, are you talking about Orko? And he's like, yeah, they included that. I was like, well, yeah, he's pre-credits. He was like, what do you mean? And I said, what don't you know? Because again, I don't want to say anything if you don't want to know.
I should go see this movie.
Dude, it's so much fun.
It's so much fun. It's really fun.
Maybe that's what I'll do tomorrow afternoon.
And I was like, so you don't know about She-Ra and the Fright Zone? And he's like, what are you talking about? I was like, oh, brother, I'm going to shut up now. All right, enjoy.
Give me Hordak, baby.
So that was
a movie of Orko.
So I'm still trying to like process like this movie I've kind of waited since I was like 6 years old to get. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. They did Duncan really dirty. That's neither here nor there. But had this movie came out when I was 6 instead of like the 87 version, I don't know where I would be right now. I'd probably trying to like, I would be wanting to make movies. But
I'm sorry, Dolph Lundgren didn't do that for you?
No. And so Frank Langella definitely did though. And so,
yeah,
because I used to do his Skeletor transformation monologue for mock auditions in theater, in theater class. And so as like a party trick, whenever I'm like really, really loaded, I'll just do it like as a speed run just for funsies. Because the monologue itself is 2 minutes and 36 seconds. And so anything of like you were trying to keep like your speeches down to like 3 minutes or less, just so because a lot of people, there's 20 people in the class, that's a whole fucking day. Yeah. So try to keep them low, but yeah. So it was a lot of just weird emotions that week of, losing
a lot of positive and negative intensity.
It was a lot. It was a lot going on at once. And I didn't really know how to process a lot of things. And so I finally was able to talk about the movie Tuesday morning, because the embargo lifted at like 1:30, because the embargo lifted 10:30 Pacific time. But I'm like,
after the screening,
premiere
screening.
Yeah. So you can say you saw it and do like social impressions. And then full reviews were embargoed until June 2nd. And so I did one for an outlet. And but yeah, so it was just a lot of process to do that. But that was my March and April going into like my summer. And I had just done this Facebook post earlier today of just like, I'm finally feeling relieved enough to like let the first half of the year just go and off my shoulders and just try to make the best, because my June and July have been really well so far. And I'm trying to keep it that way.
Good.
So hopefully nothing horrible happens to either of you.
Someone is setting off fireworks right now. It is 11 at night.
I can't hear any of that, but I'm scared now that Lan has cursed me. Not cool. Oh God.
He did the point.
That looks like the thumbnail if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, of course.
I had something I was going to ask.
You had wrestling questions, and I just wanted to
rounded it back around to wrestling.
We all knew what this was going to be going in.
Yeah. Oh, I know what I wanted to do. This will, because I think we're 2 to 3 weeks. We have 2 episodes ready, and then this one will go. So it won't be as immediate, but it'll still be before the Forbidden Door or the All In or whatever that big show is called. We all just watched Kenny Omega versus MJF for the world title before we hopped on to record. We're recording later than normal because Lan was like, but wrestling's on. And that had never occurred to me in the entire time we record this podcast on Wednesdays, because I tend to watch AEW on tape delay.
Same.
I tend to watch most wrestling on tape delay. But I decided to sit down and watch live, and then Matt, you popped in here and then pulled it up on your screen, and we watched it together. A, great match, but B, very excited for Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay.
Yeah.
At what I'm assuming will be a partially filled Wembley Stadium.
I don't know. I feel like this is the match that can definitely fill in like those seats that they've been needing to do for sure.
I hope so. I was really surprised that more people didn't like jump when Ospreay won the Owen Hart tournament. But then I think about it, I'm like, realistically, Matt, we've talked about MJF before. I love MJF.
Yeah.
I love that character. I love the way he plays it. But like, I feel like this title run of his has been a real dud overall. Just not that interesting.
Yeah.
So when the possibility of MJF versus Will Ospreay at Wembley, I was like, well, we know how it's going to end. And I just don't care very much. So I was pleased that this happened.
Yeah. I was less surprised, especially about with Takeshita, because again, the G1 starts Saturday. So like that title's got to go somewhere for, over a month. And he can just go back to Japan for a month. But yeah, you had questions?
Not really. I was just wondering what did you think of the main event?
I'm going to have to watch it again because the internet kept going out. And so
were you watching on HBO Max?
Sure was.
Brother, it kept stopping and
sure did.
YouTube TV,
I was constantly having to reboot or reload my monitor, reload my browser window because I was watching on the computer. But like, man,
no, guys, so that's
but
I was afraid it was my actual internet, and I was about to text you guys like, hey, I don't know what's going on over here, but like, we may not be able to go tonight because my shit keeps putzing out. So.
Nope, it was just HBO Max, the world's most okayest streaming service.
I'll at least take that
over a Paramount property.
I'll at least take that over Peacock. I
wouldn't.
Oh, the UI on Peacock is so annoying.
Yeah, the UI and how it just
breaks.
There you go. It just breaks.
At this point, the streamers I use most are Second Try and Dropout. And let me tell you, they have the exact same UI and it works flawlessly.
Oh, no, Dropout's fine. Like,
I love Dropout.
That's easy. But yeah, I don't have a favorite for the G1 this year. I don't know. It feels very weird with this new class of a new generation of New Japan stars, but they've definitely...
Well, it also feels weird because, especially with like someone like Takeshita, New Japan's new ownership being like friendly to WWE, being WWE friendly, like I feel like that was being reported a lot. It makes me really question, like, well, I wonder how much longer the New Japan AEW relationship's going to continue.
I think it'll be a while because Hiroshi Tanahashi is still president. I can't imagine the IWGP champion showing up on NXT.
Yeah,
that would hurt my soul. I
cannot imagine that happening. In a world where they put AAA people on Raw and SmackDown, like I don't even necessarily know that those will start working together. But part of me is like, well, if the new owners are TKO adjacent, they might just have that. They might just not work with outside wrestling companies, which would be a bummer because like I give AEW, especially on this podcast and at Matt in general, I give AEW a lot of crap because it has the potential to be so amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like by and large, they're getting better at it, but by and large, I feel like AEW has been less good at long-term storytelling, less good at longer-term feuds. With obviously there are exceptions to the rule. Hangman and Swerve is one of the best wrestling feuds of the last several years. Fantastic stuff.
But
what is happening in AEW now that's supposed to be catching my interest, other than they get cool people from New Japan into wrestle matches?
Yeah,
and Stardom to a lesser degree.
Right. Well, also, like, what they don't know what the Death Riders are anymore.
Mm-hmm. Nobody knows what the Death Riders are anymore.
I feel like, man, you know what? The Death Riders on paper is just Mox making like a bunch of mercs who are just, unfortunately to their opponents, really good at wrestling. Like, you have an elite squad of just Matt gods And everyone
and
has
Wheeler Yuta.
Hey.
No
Wheeler Yuta hate.
Hey.
I love Wheeler Yuta. I'm being a funny guy.
Okay.
I'm honestly, I'm most upset that Daniel Garcia doesn't dance anymore.
There you go. So because you already you have Mox, who's like the brawler in Austin type of guy who's like, yeah, man, I'm hungry, I'm blood, I need all this, I'll kill you. And then you have Claudio, who's like, no, I'm really good at everything ever. I can do this. And then you have Mina Shafir, who's more intimidating than Daniel Garcia and Wheeler combined. Yep. But then you do have Wheeler.
Pac.
I'm getting there.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
You have Wheeler, who's like the young blood who had proven himself as like the pure champion for like forever and ever, who can stand against like the best sickos of them all. You have Pac, who's like the new addition, who's a throwback, kind of like how Claudio is to just short guys who can suplex the moon. And I think that's great. But then Daniel Garcia has no identity because his identity is just Wheeler kind of, but like he's in
but it also feels like,
but then,
I feel like Wheeler has evolved.
Then they add in Will.
Kind of.
Again, kind of. And then, but wait, we just saw him with the United Kingdom.
Yeah.
So he's not. And so all the United Kingdom guys, not United Kingdom, United Empire.
Yeah.
They all like tweet at him that I've seen. I'm not on Twitter anymore because it's run by a literal Nazi. But from what I've seen is like they dogged him on socials because you're like, wait, you're Mox's little dog again? What are you doing? And
remember when he broke your neck?
Remember when he like killed you? So it's a really weird sort of thing. Like, do they want to be heels like in the traditional sense, or do they want to be heels in like Bullet Club sense where they're still over by being dickbags?
But I feel like they're not even that over at this point because like the switch from being like this action of we're going to destroy this company and like on a dime because Mox won a different title. Now he's like, wrestling is the most important thing that's ever existed and I'm here to defend it. And I'm like, nobody was attacking it.
No, it was
like, I don't understand. What is the machine you're raging against now?
Yeah. It doesn't make a lot of sense. And I forgive that to an extent because the in-ring makes me emotional because it's hard not to be romantic about professional wrestling when it is that good. Like Meltzer's going to have to go to space to get more stars for this Omega Ospreay match.
Like, I don't know if the listeners can hear how hard I'm rolling my eyes into the back of my head.
It's an arbitrary system. It doesn't matter. It's still going to be like
Dave Meltzer.
I know. No one can like him with Dave.
Quote unquote journalist Dave Meltzer,
or as he's called in my favorite podcast, Dave Meltzer.
Did you wait? Small weird aside? Did you? I saw this. It got posted on Reddit. And I couldn't help but laugh. Someone asked Dave Meltzer on Twitter what he would be doing if he wasn't a wrestling reporter. He said, "I'd probably be a top NFL reporter."
A top
NFL reporter. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Hey, Lan, tell us where you can find you. Tell everybody where you can find you, and plug those books you be writing.
I'm not going to tell you where I'm currently at, where you can find me and lurk outside my house.
I'm already there. I'm right.
Will find you
on the internet.
Yeah, I got it. I'm being blue.
I'm sorry.
I'm Lan Pitts pretty much everywhere on Instagram, on Blue Sky. Like I said, I don't use Twitter anymore because it's full of Nazis and CSAM. And my books available on Amazon, Walmart, Target, Matt Elfring's house, and you can't get that anymore, Chris. That's gone.
That's right. One of a kind. Mine's signed by the author.
So
look on the back. Brody King.
Yeah, I know. And let me know what you think. Thank you guys for having me on. It's been great just hanging out, not talking about anything. I love it.
That's what this show
Welcome
is.
to Wrestle Buds.
It's just friends hanging out. That's all this show is.
Except for the episode that comes out tomorrow, which is a very serious discussion about WWE 2K26.
And it is the longest episode we have done, and there is no extended audio cut. Yeah.
Well, good night. You have a sign off. What's your sign off?
Oh, the sign off is hey, we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for listening.
You can find us on Instagram at WrestleBuds, on Blue Sky at WrestleBuds, etc., etc., etc. Follow the Patreon, patreon.com/WrestleBuds. Free tier has a bunch of free video. Paid tier has even more video. YouTube.com/WrestleBuds. The WBWF videos are going up on YouTube on a delay, but they're going out there in the world. So,
and if you've noticed me being quiet the past hour, it's because I've been on my medication and we recorded later and I am so tired.
And I drank a coffee before I got here.
You all have a great day, a great weekend, and live your best life. Is that the sign off?
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Please clap.